there had been controversy with regard to what constituency projects are. Who funds constituency projects? Is it government-funded project, or is it projects by National Assembly members?
What are those infrastructure that you want us to address? Because we are bestowed in making the budget, so we have our own input.
Hello and welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiayi. The National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, in response to the yearnings of their constituents for development, demanded and got constituency projects as part of their democratic dividends. How can we hold our legislators accountable? And what effort is ICPC making to ensure that citizens get the dividends of democracy through constituency projects? This is Transparency Files' area of focus on today's edition of the program. Also on this edition, we shall bring you reports from our state offices. But before then, let's join Ruth Awodi, who will bring us up to speed with the latest anti-corruption stories. Over to you, Ruth.
Welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. I am Ruth Awodi. ICPC and the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, have reaffirmed their commitment to collaborate in combating corruption through investigative journalism. This commitment was made during a one-day workshop for media professionals themed The Power of the Pen in the Fight Against Corruption. The MacArthur Foundation supported the workshop, which focused on fostering a lasting partnership between ICPC and NUJ to enhance corruption prevention efforts. In his opening remarks, ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, who emphasized the importance of government efforts in tackling corruption and abuse of power, highlighted the long-standing collaboration between ICPC and the media.
The ICPC has long valued its collaboration with the media, partnering on initiatives such as investigative training, radio and television programs, and tracking anti-corruption projects, including the constituency and the executive project tracking initiative. The media's role in amplifying these efforts is critical to ensure that public resources are utilized effectively and projects meet quality specifications. The media can also serve as a platform for advocacy, using editorials, blogs, and opinion pieces to raise public awareness about corruption.
In a goodwill message, Senator Emmanuel Udende, chairman of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, represented by Senator Kaka Shehu Lawan, praised ICPC for its efforts in both corruption, prevention, and enforcement. Dr. Kole Shetima, country director of the MacArthur Foundation, highlighted the role of investigative journalism in exposing corruption while also celebrating those advancing transparency and accountability.
So that's very important. That's why, in my view, that as we are doing the work around media work, I think we should also pay attention to all the good people in public service, in private sector, in all looks of the lives of our people, of our lives, who are doing certain things that are uplifting, that are contributing, that are bringing about positive change to our society, so that our children and other people will not assume that only bad thing is what we should always be talking about.
Representatives from various media organizations, including the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, also spoke on the media's responsibility to inform and educate the public on corruption. They emphasized that corruption extends beyond government officials, urging journalists to uphold ethical standards while pursuing their work. The NUJ president, Mr. Chris Isinguzo, called for better protection of journalists, stressing that without adequate safety measures, journalists remain vulnerable to threats. He encouraged media practitioners to maintain ethical integrity in their reporting.
Journalists are the eyes and ears of society. We are often the first to uncover and report on the underhand dealings that threatens the nation's future. The power of the pen is indeed undeniable. It can expose corruption, challenge those in power, and empowers citizens to demand accountability in the fight against graft. Our role is indeed multifaceted and indispensable.
The workshop concluded with a call for stronger partnerships between the media and anti-corruption bodies, reinforcing the role of investigative journalism in promoting accountability and transparency across Nigeria. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Murna. Stay with us.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
This is Transparency Files. Constituency projects are initiated by the National Assembly to ensure government developmental projects are cited in each constituency during the budgeting process. It is equally important to note that the Constituency and Executive Project Tracking Initiative of ICPC is to facilitate good governance, transparency, and accountability through proper implementation of government projects across the country in line with the Commission's preventive and enforcement mandates. Legislatures are required to identify projects they wish to be cited in their constituencies for inclusion in the budget, with a financial ceiling for the budgetary provision for such projects in constituencies. Our crew spoke to former House of Reps member Honorable Musa Dachun-Bagos on the subject matter. Listen to his thoughts on it.
The background of constituency project, it started as a result of yearning from constituents, yearning from Nigerians as a result of imbalancing in reaching out to people at the local level. And I usually do what it called a baseline assessment, that I have meetings with my stakeholders. What are those infrastructure that you want us to address? Because we are bestowed in making the budget, so we have our own input. There should be a community committee attached to every project that is being executed, so that when anybody comes and say, no, the elders, the youth, and the women say, no, we are part of this project, so you can't tell us. So the transparency and openness in most of this, in project execution, is very key.
Guy, this our rep member, he did try. This is the third borehole he's constructing with his own money.
No be smart, no. Honorable Kashkal is the real Odogo. Plus, he is very generous.
Uncle, I don't think it's his money he's spending. ICPC came to our school to sensitize us on many of their initiatives, including constituency and executive project tracking.
Will you shut up? What does a small boy like you know about politics and money?
Haba,
At least listen to him before silencing him. He was not true to you now. Go on, my boy.
The ICPC officers gave us a smart number to call if we have questions about constituency project. It's 0800 call ICPC and it's free.
Okay, let's try it. The number probably won't even go through itself. 0800 22 55 42 72.
Hello, you have reached the ICPC toll-free number. My name is Ola. How may I help you?
Hello, my name is Remy from Small London local government area. Can you tell me anything about the constituency projects allocated to this area?
Thank you for calling, Miss Remy. Just a second, please. 121 million naira was allocated by the federal government to your local governments for 10 boreholes, drainage systems along 2 major roads, 50 motorcycles, 100 sewing machines, and other equipment as part of an empowerment scheme. If you suspect any foul play, kindly submit a petition to info@icpc.gov.ng.
Ignorance is not an excuse. Thanks to this boy, we now know better. I will inform the community head so we can monitor projects properly. It's our constituency and our project.
The toll-free number of ICPC is 0800 call ICPC. That is 0800 2255 4272 and the short code 4272. This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission.
You're watching Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. ICPC over the years has received increased complaints by citizens regarding shoddy completion, non-completion, or outright non-execution of zonal intervention projects, otherwise known as constituency projects, in their localities, despite huge budgetary releases by the federal government. Following these complaints and armed by Section 6, subsection B of its enabling law, which empowers ICPC to investigate systems and order a review of them where necessary, in 2019, ICPC launched the Constituency and Executive Project Tracking Initiative, CEPTI, to address dissatisfaction of Nigerians with the delivery of constituency projects for which the government has been budgeting huge funds since the year 2000. The head of the Constituency Executive Project Tracking Initiative, Mr. Jimo Sulahimon, will update us on ICPC's efforts in the tracking and recoveries from constituency projects across the country thus far. Take a listen.
There had been controversy with regard to what constituency projects are. Who funds constituency projects? Is it government-funded project, or is it projects by National Assembly members? So it was from that perspective that ICPC had to intervene to come up with, okay, let us go and track all these projects. Let us see what is happening. So, and the main reason for this, for accountability, good governance, and transparency, focusing on how government money had been expended in critical sectors of the economy. That is the basic thing when we started. The tracking process started in 2019. However, we went back to look at budgets or projects in the budget from 2015 up to 2024 now and going further. So from that 2019 up to now, we have done 6 phases, and we have tracked projects up to 5,500 projects across the country, across the 36 states of the country, including the FCT. For example, the value of the project we have tracked will be 450 billion projects. The value of such project we have tracked. So again, the phase 6 we tracked last year and this year, the value of the project was 219 billion. From that phase 6, we have been able to recover over 5 billion naira. And we have also been able to save into government covers over 80 billion worth of projects. You may want to also ask, what are the findings, what are the problems, what are the issues with regards to project tracking? I can confidently say that yes, the first time when we started this tracking, most people in the community never realized that the funding for constituency projects are from government. They thought that these projects are being funded from personal fund or personal accounts of the facilitators, the National Assembly member. It was our intervention, ICPC's intervention, that now revealed that yes, oh, this money is even government funds. So people realized now, people started asking questions.
You're still watching Transparency Files. ICPC's field tracking exercise of constituency projects are conducted in collaboration with state and non-state actors. One of the key actors in the tracking of constituency projects with the Commission is the Budget Nigeria. Mr. Garba Abdullahi, the FCT State Officer for Tracker.ng, gives us his assessment of the tracking of projects with ICPC thus far. Stay with us.
In budget, we get the budget of the federal government, we analyze it, we check the lacuna and the frivolous, we have this the mentality of Nigerian that they used to inflate budget item to budget. We check all these things, we see it, then we fish it out, we call the attention, we report to the ICPC to go after this because we as an organization, we cannot be able to execute them. So it is the ICPC team that we call. There is no time we don't write to the ICPC, and if we discover these kind of things, we have been writing. Even FCT here, we have a road that has been abandoned. A contractor, a 40-kilometer road in Kwalera Council that's supposed to be done. The 151 million naira was paid to two contractors, and they just do the road like 600 meters. So when we discover this, we write our report, we submit it to ICPC, we get them the figure because budget have a site that if you go to the site www.govspend, everything about government spending is being published there. So when you go to the site, you begin to see the amount being paid to the contractor, the date of payment, the contractor name being stated, the agency, the ministry being stated there. So we get our information from that place. Then we report to the ICPC with figures on it. The ICPC take it up. In fact, I remember, I just want to share a little story of that day. We track a project in FCTA at around the Apple Waru side, and the road was supposed to be 10 kilometers. So when we tried to visit the site, the machines were on the sites at the beginning, and they started some work at the beginning. So when we get to some 2 or 3 communities, and the contractor, the site engineer, thought that the ICPC team will not get to the end of the tracking the project. To our greatest surprise, the ICPC team lead say we must get to the end. Even if it is interior community, we have to reach there and see what you have done because that is what is in the bill of quantity. So when we get there, we discover that there were a lot of lacuna and a lot of mismanagement of found in the project. So the whole ICPC team take notes, took pictures, and also, in fact, immediately after the exercise, the next day, the team, after the report, the team have to invite the contractor and the consultant. They have to go to the site. As I'm talking to you now, the road is completed and it's smooth, because what the representative, the leader do is they make the citizen to believe that it is their personal fund that is doing this work for them. So automatically the mentality of citizens to get involved will not be there. You can't go and hold somebody accountable for what he did for you free. So this is the blockage of the word that they use to citizens that make them not to get engaged and involved about this constituency project. We want the ICPC to also use that platform to sensitize citizens to get involved in terms of their constituency project, make sure that they tell their citizens this is what they want. So their leader, this is what they want, not the leader giving them what they want.
ICPC's message to the communities where government projects are cited is simple. Own, protect and monitor the projects that government has put in your community to make your life better. If you are not satisfied with the projects, please call toll-free lines and other numbers that are displayed on your screen.
Welcome back from that eye-opening interview. The major outcome of the tracking exercise is that both the sponsors and MDAs responsible for the execution of constituency and executive projects are aware that ICPC is watching and that there is no hiding place for defaulters. Welcome back. Indeed, ICPC needs all the support it can get to address the many questions of integrity, transparency, and accountability in government business, thereby uprooting and eliminating corruption that require answers. That's our package for today. Quickly, we bring you highlight of activities in our state offices. Damilola Oyejegede is our guide.
From our Lagos State Office comes a report that the British High Commission, in collaboration with ICPC, officially opened a newly organized immigration crime unit at ICPC. Secretary to the Commission, Mr. Clifford Oparaudu, opened the newly upgraded facilities, which included interview rooms, suspect data capturing room, unit office, forensic unit, and cells. Also from Kaduna State Office, the Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Prince Hassan Mohammed, received the State Commandant of the NSCDC, Mr. Nuhu Bello Muhammad. The visit was aimed at strengthening the relationship between the two agencies and mapping out strategies for broader collaboration. In the same vein, ICPC Enugu State Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Kennedy Ebotemen, paid a courtesy visit to the Vice-Chancellor, Coal City University, Enugu State, to establish a better working relationship between the institution and ICPC and to request the formation of anti-corruption vanguard in the university. There was also sensitization of the management, staff, and students of Coal City University, Enugu State. In a separate development, ICPC Delta State moves its anti-corruption sensitization campaign to Ubulu Okiti Secondary School, Ubulu Okiti, in Aniocha North local government area in continuation of its campaign across schools. Prominent members of the team, namely Life Kakobe and Stella Chibuzo, took turns to speak to the students about the evil of corruption. The students were told that they were part of a new generation of Nigerians that ICPC was working to create in order to ensure a brighter future for the country.
Thank you, Dami. Join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. on MTN Network and MTN International for new editions of the program. Thank you for watching. My name is Murna Barnabas Atiaye. Bye for now.